Kelly. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. So I missed last week to tell you about our confidentiality agreement that we have here. And so what that is basically is that as your social worker, everything that you say between yourself and I is confident. I won't share that with anybody else unless you are showing self-harm to yourself or self-harm to others. None of that information will be shared. So.
Okay.
Just so as long as you understand that and that you know that.
Mm-hmm.
So how's your week been going?
It's been okay. I went to some meetings for NA, and I went to my sonogram appointment. So that was kind of interesting. It was my third one, so I got to see like his he was moving a lot. So that was kind of cool. It's kind of exciting. Jake didn't get to be there, but maybe next time. And I called my mom to go with me, but she told me she couldn't go. So.
And Jake is
He's my boyfriend.
Okay, your boyfriend.
So we've been together since I graduated from cosmetology school last year. So like a little over a year.
Okay. So you said you graduated from cosmetology school. How is that going?
Well, I had a job set up right out of cosmetology school, but I didn't get into it because I decided to go to rehab because I just found out that I was pregnant. So I knew that I didn't want to be doing drugs when I was pregnant, and I didn't want to be like harming my child anymore because I didn't know how far along I was. So I decided not to take that job, and I don't think I could have even done that job anyway because I was pretty messed up then. So
yeah. So can you talked about that you went to rehab. Mm-hmm. Can you kind of talk about that with me? Is like how did that all begin, or what made you start that idea that you wanted to get help for that?
Well, I've been doing drugs since like my junior year of high school, so like 4 years I guess. Mm-hmm. And I started dating Jake, and Jake kind of wasn't into it. Like he wasn't like a big druggie like I was used to. He occasionally would, but it wasn't like my other boyfriends. So I knew that was a little different. We stopped doing drugs as much. But when I found out that I was pregnant, it was like a hit. I just felt like I got hit in the face, and I just thought about my mom and how she never got clean and sober, and she has like 8 kids, including me 9. And so I didn't want to be like her at all. I didn't want to make the same mistakes she did, or make the same choices she did, or make her kids feel the way that I felt. So when I found out I was pregnant with Sam, I knew that I wanted to do something different, and I knew I didn't know how to do that. Drugs have really been the only thing other than guys that have really helped me like cope with anything. Everything stressful with my mom and my family and my brothers and my sisters and everything like that, I turned to that. So I had a friend in high school who actually went to rehab as well, and so I called him and I asked him where he went, and he told me that he went to this place called New Leaf, and I'd never heard of that, but I called and I got in, and so I spent 6 months there, going through detox and going through group therapy and meeting so many different people. At first it was super overwhelming. I didn't know what to do. I went through a lot of withdrawals. It was really hard, but when I got released, I was admitted to come here, and I was actually kind of excited because I knew that I'd have someone to keep me accountable, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So, like, what I'm hearing is that you wanted to go to rehab to be better for your child and for Sam, and to really make new life for yourself.
Yeah,
and one that you hadn't seen before. And
yeah, I think what I realized too is just how lucky I am, I guess, that I wasn't arrested or anything, because so many of the people that I met in rehab were there because they had to be. So it was kind of hard to connect with some of them because I don't think they were all super serious about getting clean. But that made me really like take a step back and like it was easier for me to stay positive because I knew that I was there for me and for my son. I think if it wasn't for my son, then I wouldn't have chosen to go because I wouldn't have had a reason to, I guess.
Yeah. So now that you're done with rehab, well, you're still in the process of, completing that sobriety and everything with that, but it'll always be a struggle. But that's not something that they probably haven't told you. But one thing, what's one thing that you're happy about during that process? I mean, what was, other than not getting arrested or being like the other people that were forced to be there? I mean, what was one thing that you remember that during that experience?
Well, while I was there, I met this 55-year-old woman. Her name was Lisa. And Lisa was, man, I think she'd been in rehab like 8 times. She was pretty messed up her whole life. But she was going, she had just lost her daughter, actually. And so I don't know if maybe she viewed me as a daughter or something, and maybe I viewed her as a mom because I never really had one. But Lisa was my best friend. Like, we did everything together. So it was really cool to have somebody in there that was kind of like a mom to me. Lisa was in there for longer than me, so, like, she's still there. But in rehab, she really, like, would just, like, remind me that I wasn't a screw-up, I guess. Just remind me that, like, I was doing the right thing. And she just would tell me the same phrase, it works if you work it, it's worth it. And so that was something that really meant a lot to me, just to continue to work the program when you get out, mostly for my son, because I know that she had a lot of regret not being there for her kids. And so it was kind of nice to have a motherly figure in there, and we still write letters and stuff because she can't get phone calls, but we still write, and I visited her once since I've been out. So that was probably my favorite thing that I got, or that I experienced there, because I got to meet somebody that understood me in a way. So that was really cool, I guess.
Yeah. I think it's cool how you, like, embrace that motherly figure, and you are looking for someone to fill that role and to see what a good figure like that looks in your life. And I think that's important for when you're having your son, and I think that's going to be cool. So how is life after leaving rehab then? Are you, what does it look like for cosmetology? Are you interested in finding a job now that you're out of rehab, or?
Yeah, definitely. Right now though, since I'm 6 months pregnant, I don't really want to find a full-time job and then have to take leave. So I applied at the local grocery store, just like a couple blocks from my house, and I have been called back for an interview for next week. So hopefully I'll be able to do something part-time there for a couple months. Jake has a full-time job, so that helps with money right now. But once I have Sam, and he's a couple months old, I definitely want to apply at a couple places, either doing hair or nails, because I have my degree, so I want to put it to use. And that's kind of my goal. I don't want to work at the grocery store forever. So hopefully, and Jake's really supportive of everything that I want to do, so that makes me, I don't know, that makes me feel better, I guess.
Yeah. And then, can you just talk about, like, your pregnancy a little bit? Like, how is that going? Are you feeling supported in the process or during this time by Jake, or?
Jake's awesome. I mean, he works every day, and he comes home, and he's never complaining to me, and he's just really thankful for everything I do, and he's really excited. I guess just the hardest thing has been my mom. She wants to be a part of Sam's life, but I don't really want her to be because she's still not clean and sober. I mean, I don't really want that kind of an influence around him. I know what that did for me growing up, and I don't want that to be the same for him. So I don't really know what to do with that. We get in an argument every time we talk, it seems like, so I just kind of avoid her. If she calls, I don't answer unless I know I have to. But sometimes she shows up at our house, and I don't know. I don't want her to show up at our house and us to get in a fight in front of the baby. So I kind of need to tell her, I guess, that I don't want her to be around him. for a while until she gets clean.
Right.
But I guess I don't really know how to tell her that without upsetting her.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for sharing all that. And like this week, I would like you to think about the goals that you would like to set for your relationship with your mother, and how you can find connections or ways that you connect with her or relate to her in certain ways. And then next week we can come back and we can figure out those things together and find resources for you and how you can try to build that relationship back up. And but I thank you for sharing everything that you shared with me today, and we'll continue this next week if you're willing to come back. So
Yeah, awesome.
thank you so much.
Thanks.